What's your single biggest challenge as, CTO of Engine? I mean, what is the hardest thing?
Single biggest challenge. I have so many
Give
challenges.
me the top five.
Well, okay. So, I mean, this last year we've grown, we've over doubled our size, the size of our company. So we are now, over 60 people, and we see ourselves going to 100 people in the next year. So that's been a massive challenge, just kind of going through the different stages of, small company to medium-sized company, or, small, medium, going into like how do we keep this company open, thoughtful, where everyone has a voice, everyone can be creative, but not go into complete chaos, right? Because we're developing, five, six different products at the same time. Another challenge has been, with everyone who's built on Ethereum, how do we migrate their projects over to Infinity? How do we let them bring their user base without spending tens of thousands of dollars on the migrations? Another big one is really talking to game developers. We have to educate. There's a lot of education happening. People see NFTs in one light, like I mentioned. We need to show people that there's so much more you can do with them, and that's why in the next few months you'll see, this sort of painter's palette of what you can do with blockchain. I think stretching what people have ever thought of possible. So those are a few of the challenges. Another one is, a lot of people are going to pay to play. Brands want to get, X number of millions of dollars in order to use technology. And there's people with a lot of money. There's a lot of chains that might not be the best technical solution for that, but they're throwing millions down, right? So there's a real land grab, and we're going to be part of that fight as well. Yeah, so I mean, there's just challenges everywhere. It's a really challenging space, but that keeps me alive. Every day there's something new, and it's moving so fast. I think I have to learn about new blockchains every day. It's kind of crazy because there's a new chain launching, there's a new project launching, there's a new game, a new platform. It's crazy. The whole world wants to get on this, so it's a lot to take in.
It's so fast. A couple things you said there. When you say land grab, so a protocol will throw kind of tokens at someone, or they'll pay to play. What does that mean? They'll like give them parts of the blockchain to come and develop on their platform. Is that what you mean by that?
Well, I actually see projects. I mean, look, this is happening on for brands and even for developers. There's a lot of poaching happening. People, new blockchain comes up, gives people like $1 million worth of tokens for the best developers to come join them. There's brands that have an established identity, sports league, whatever it is, and they're talking to multiple blockchains and seeing who gives them the most money to use that brand. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff happening. I think that will settle down in the next couple of years. There's still going to be IP deals and brand deals, but people will eventually move to the technology that's best for their use case, because beyond just licensing fees, you want to actually start doing something beyond just making a few bucks. We are actually talking to a lot of these brands that have tried this sort of approach and then realized, what, we don't want to be in a walled garden. We don't want to be limited to like one blockchain. We want to be part of the wider metaverse. How do we do this? How do we explore the metaverse? And the coolest brands, some of these are global brands, fashion brands, sports leagues. They actually see now that the metaverse is going to be an open place, and they want to they want to make their tokens, their NFTs, compatible with any wallet, any blockchain, not just one provider. So that's a really good thing to see, and I think over the next few years that'll evolve to be that way.
It's almost like the philosophy and like the mission is so important in this space, and it's almost like the metaverse and NFTs. It almost exposes that. If you've got a brand that's maybe been hiding behind some great products or a great television experience, and then they go into the NFT space, you kind of get to see what they're all about, because like, what are they doing? But if they come in with this really great mindset, and I talked to Raul Paulo about this, I mean, he's like, an NFT should be a way not to extract value, but to add value to your customers. That simple philosophy alone could probably save so many brands, so many pitfalls, billions of dollars of mistakes, and just say, guess what? We're not going to approach this the way we might approach, a lot of the things we do, which is world domination, crush and kill. but maybe we should just try to add some more value to our customers and maybe think about giving something first would probably save them a lot of time, right? If they think that way as opposed to next quarterly results. Am I off on that?
You're spot on. We've talked to celebrities and musicians, for example, that want to do some NFTs, and they look at some of them have failed, where they just release a JPEG and are like, it's here, spend millions of dollars on this JPEG, and their fans get really really pissed off when that happens. So the ones that see this, they want to build a lasting experience. They know that their brand, their name is the most crucial thing to them, and they want to build something that gives their users a stronger connection to them, gives their users lasting value. So people have to start thinking that way. And naturally, I think people will think that way, and the world will move that way, because the brands that do it right are going to be the successful ones and the ones that everyone flocks to.
Yeah, no, so true. Two more things you said there. Look, growing a company at that rate is so difficult. I would say the 30 to 60 is maybe more difficult than the 60 to 120. Which is definitely more difficult than 120 to 240. I remember Tony Hsieh, the late Tony Hsieh, who started Zappos, great book, Delivering Wow or Delivering Happiness, I think is what he called it. I think the previous company he had was a software company, and he said, I remember at one point I was walking in the hallways and I didn't know the employees because they had gone from like 100 to 300. He was doing some software tech startup. And he said that's when it all went wrong. Like we just lost our way. The company just, because nobody knew what the hell they were doing. So like what you're doing now it's so complicated. And from a technology perspective, from someone like you that maybe is used to code and smart contracts, trying to manage people, oh my gosh, it's like an alien universe, right? So that
Is.
must be challenging.
It is. It's something that we've had to struggle with over the last year, but we are starting to find our way. One thing I found really useful is to just have one-on-one conversations with everyone in the company. Just schedule a meeting, just chat, and then you find the most remarkable concepts and ideas coming out of people. I want everyone in Engine to feel like they are, they have some creative control, they input, they ask questions, and we want to keep it somewhat flat in that way. Obviously, there has to be hierarchy when you're growing a company, but we want to have that communication across all departments, across all people. So, that's been helping, and, now we go towards 100, hopefully, and we'll see how that goes. But as far as you were saying, it's not as hard as going to 60.